So just connect yourself with this mysterious phenomenon called the eternal now. ये पल अभी जो है उसके साथ जुड़िए अपने आप को. One of the great mysteries, something that has been present with us from the very beginning, and something it is which is always with us and will always be present forever.
Sanjiv, on your organizer.
This is the phenomenon called time. Kal, Samay, one of the great mysteries of this universe. And even though you have experienced it all the time, yet what it is remains a mystery. One of the biggest mysteries of our life is time itself. Connect with this moment. Connect with eternal, which, when we look at it from one way, has no duration at all. Because how small is this moment? Is it a second? Is it a fraction of a second? It is even less than that. Every moment gone before even a fraction of a second. So on the one hand, dimensionless, timeless, and on the other hand, no end, no beginning, always present, continuously present, all the time present. The mysterious phenomenon of time. Which allows us to experience this life. Time is what allows us to experience. We would never be able to experience things, people, events, were it not for the presence of time. And yet, we know nothing about it, really. जब भी हम अनुभव के तौर पर इसको देखते हैं, समय को, काल को, there is an illusion that we live, that there is a past, that there is a present, and there is a future. But who has ever experienced the past? Who has ever experienced the future? भविष्य को हम एक बार आसानी से मान सकते हैं कि भविष्य तो किसी ने अनुभव नहीं किया है, लेकिन हम सोचते हैं कि अतीत जो है, पास्ट, तो अनुभव किया है. It's easy to accept that future is never experienced. So its existence actually, if we base all our decisions about reality and about truth based on experience alone, then we can accept that the future we have not experienced. So we temporarily drop its existence. Okay, maybe it doesn't exist. But the past, we are sure it exists. We are sure that the past exists. But have you ever experienced the past? Just ask yourself. Whatever you have experienced, you have only experienced when the experience happened. This beautiful mystery, just connect with this beautiful mystery of time. This moment to moment awareness of the here and the now, which is the only real. So past does not exist, has never existed. If experience is the only criteria, there is only the now. If we can live in this now always, because that is all there is, then no problems exist. Problems exist only in the past, problems exist only in the future. And if past and future themselves don't exist, then where is the place for problems to exist? The present now, this moment, is always, is never a problem. It is only the past and the future where problems exist. The now is just the now. No matter what is happening in the now, it is the mind that labels it as a problem because it projects the now into the future or compares it with something in the past. But if you don't drop past and future, which are anyway imaginary, then this moment is simply what it is: complete, beautiful, fulfilling, peaceful, joyful, loving. And this is where we live. This is your address. You don't live in Pune and Bhopal and Bhubaneswar and Mumbai. That's not where you live. That's just your address. Your real address. Your real address is here. You always live here, 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 and in the now. In which there is only peace, there is only joy, there is only truth, there is only love. Only the mind always wants to travel to this past, project into the future, and brings misery to itself. Otherwise, in the now, there is only peace, there is only happiness, there is only joy. So lovingly train yourself, train your mind to come to the now, to always return to the now, and discover that in that now, there is nothing to worry about, because worry belongs to future. There is nothing to regret, because regret belongs to the past. What's left? Just ecstasy, just love, just beauty, just truth. And life keeps on serving us, serving us, serving us, giving us this time more. One more moment, another moment, another moment, another moment. In such abundance, one moment after the other, gifted, 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 gifted continuously. And we reject it, we keep on rejecting it. The mind keeps on rejecting this moment in favor of a non existent past, or in favor of a non existent future. Bring yourself to this now. The stillness within, which is always in the now. This body, which is always in the now. This breath, which is always in the now. You cannot breathe yesterday, you cannot breathe tomorrow. You can only breathe here and now. The body resides only in the here and now. The body cannot travel to the past, it cannot travel to the future. Only thoughts, feelings have this ability and a habit of wandering into the past, wandering into the future. Wonderful. So slowly you may open your eyes and be here with eyes open and with yourself and with everyone here. So I believe everyone present here is attending, is going to be present at the retreat. Wonderful. So I have a surprise for everyone to share about the retreat. So are you ready for this surprise? Okay, so uh, okay, I want you all to turn on your videos so we can capture the surprise. Do you have everyone has their Rashmi ji, hello, Jayesh, Percy, Kemcho. Okay, Nancy, Sonal, Janki ji, Sanjay, good. So, Anamika, would you be able to take a screenshot when with everyone on it? And so be a little expressive. When you read this surprise, I'm going to post this surprise on the retreat WhatsApp group. So keep your phones ready to look at it, and then I want you to, at the count of three, put on the surprise face so that we'll capture this moment of surprise. I wanted to actually surprise everyone at the retreat, but there is a certain aspect of it which needs you to know about it now, so that you have a little time to prepare it. So that's why I could not hold off on the surprise any longer. But here it is. Here it's coming to your WhatsApp on the open door retreat WhatsApp group is going to show up, and then we'll post it on the other groups as well. Uh, but for now, it's going to be there. So keep your WhatsApp ready on the retreat group open to read what I'm sending now, and then Anamika ji, if you are ready to capture the surprise look. Okay, here it uh, here. Okay, Jayesh, you don't have your video on. That's okay. Nancy, maybe you guys are busy with something. Rujita, also please turn on your video if you can, and keep your camera so that your face is visible. Sonal, just turn your camera down a little bit. Okay, ready? A one, a two, a three. Okay, is everyone reading? Read the message on the retreat WhatsApp group. Everyone. So you're on mute. So I can't hear you, Jennifer ji. But what? Oh, you're on mute. Okay, fine. But you know what? Okay, fine. So everyone, what? You are not something anymore. Type in the chat. Type in the chat, please. Okay. So is everyone surprised? Yes or no? Okay. Oh, I can't mute. Okay, maybe. No, she's a co-host, so she can mute, unmute, whatever. Okay, fine. Anyway, put it in the chat. Okay. So ready? Everyone saw the surprise? Yes. So ready to capture the print screen. One, two. Yeah. Chalo, surprise look. Okay, got it. Yeah. A surprise look selfie. Everyone ready? What, you want to do it again? Got it. Got it. Okay, she's got it. Okay, great. So, so on Friday, so we are meeting on Thursday the 3rd. On Friday evening,
Sanjivji,
we've
you want to check the
invited,
recording? Recording, you want it on?
it is on.
Do you want it on when you're
It is
talking about all
okay.
this?
Fine. We'll pause it. So time is the mystery of time. No, second surprise over there. Uh, so time is a mystery, not only from an experience and what we understand level, but even in physics, it's a huge mystery. Did you know, for example, that the rate at which time flows is different depending on where you are? How fast time moves is different. So, and it, so for example, satellites that are in the air, way up, not in the air, actually, they are above the air. They are way above the atmosphere, so definitely not in the air. But in space, orbiting the Earth, the clock that is on the satellite moves at a different speed than the clock that is on your wrist. Did you know this? If you're in a given day, there will, let's say, you synchronize very accurate clocks, one on your wrist, one going to go on the satellite, and They are both at exactly the same time, very accurate clocks. You send the satellite in the air, again, I'm saying in the air, into space, and it starts orbiting the Earth. And then you check back after 2 or 3 days, your time and the time on that satellite, there will be a difference in the clocks, even though the clocks are 100% accurate, and significantly different. Because not only the satellite is far from the Earth, so far from gravity, but it is also moving at a very high rate. It moves differently. Can you even imagine that time flows slowly or quickly based on your location and based on your speed? This is part of one of the predictions of Einstein's theory of relativity, that time will flow differently based on the amount of gravitational pull on you, and also based on uh, the speed that you are moving. So um, so in fact, they have every day they have to keep resynchronizing all these satellites that you have in space, uh, to keep them in sync with our clock. They have to be corrected every single day. They have to be corrected by a few milliseconds or a few seconds. I think few milliseconds every single day. They need to be corrected to stay in sync. So this thing called time is a huge, huge, huge mystery, and but we can experience life only thanks to this beautiful mystery called time. Uh, so, any thoughts or questions about this thing called time? About past does not exist, future does not exist. Yes, Sandhyavan. Unmute. Okay. Go ahead.
Time is timelessness.
Time is timelessness. Wonderful. Right. You typed a question. Sonal, why are you typing question? यार unmute करके बात करो ना. Where is the question? Then why?
Beautiful language.
Wait.
हाँ,
बोलायला काय होते सोनलजी? हे टाईप करून मला इथून इथे पाठवतात.
as soon as Sonal comes online, Mami swatches Marathi.
Yeah. So tension should be over, isn't it? That's what you're asking. Exactly. Exactly. We only move in the now, in the now, in the now. If you're working in the now. If you're relaxing in the now. Whatever we experience only happens in the now.
Right.
Even if you think about the future or plan for the future, that planning for the future happens in the now. So right now, if you decide you want to work, that decision happens in the now. Then you go to work, that happens in the now. You decide that you need so much money in this many years, that planning also happens in the now. It never happens in the future. That's what we are saying. And similarly, the past. We are so very sure that the past exists, but there's no evidence for it actually. Has anyone ever visited the past? Has anyone ever seen the past? Has anyone ever experienced the past?
Yeah, each day that is gone is the past.
What is it?
Each day that has gone is the past.
Yeah, but if we are going to use experience as our yardstick, that each day that has gone has only been experienced as a now experience. Each day was always in the now. The day that has gone can never be experienced, isn't it? And if something that cannot be experienced, then
Then it doesn't exist.
then it doesn't exist. That's it. Yeah, but realization is important. Which realization? So that is why no, we are talking about it, because this realization is important. This realization is important to live in the now, be in the moment. See, in lot of in meditation, shastro mein kaha hai, so many times we hear, be in the moment, be in the now, the power of now, the here and the now. But what we are talking about is a basis for why the now. The basis for why in the now is that the past isn't there, future isn't there. It's only existing in the imagination or in the memories. And the imagination and the memories are both experienced in the now. Whatever we experience, we realize something from it. Exactly, yes. But all happening in the now.
Yeah.
All happening in now. Nothing happens in the past. Nothing happens in the future. Great. So, any other? Yeah, the twin paradox. Anamika wrote about the twin paradox. Yes. The twin paradox is that if you have twins, identical twins here on Earth, and one of them takes off in a rocket and travels near or at the speed of light and visits some distant star and comes back again at or near the speed of light, then that twin will be will say, oh, I was 30 years old when I left, and when I've come back I am, let's say, 31 years old. In the meantime, that twin who stayed back on earth will be a buddha, will be 80 years old by the time that one comes back, depending on the time and the distance traveled by that other twin. So this is known as the twin paradox. Why does it happen? Because that other twin that was traveling at the speed of light, which experienced that speed, the acceleration, the deceleration, this acceleration again to come back, at that speed of light, the time flows very, very slowly. In fact, at the speed of light, time does not flow at all. It just stops. There is no flow of time. If you are at the speed of light, time does not move. And near the speed of light, time moves, but very slowly. So here on earth, in our ordinary life and all that, we take time for granted as an absolute. But in truth, it is not an absolute. It can slow down, it can speed up, it can stop. So your 1 second over here to the person on the rocket may be only a fraction of a second. Your 10 years over here may be only 1 minute for the person on the rocket traveling at that speed. So it's a wonderful mystery. Wonderful mystery. I recently read a book by Covelli. Covelli, the first name, is an Italian physicist. And if you're into physics, look up this book. It's amazing. It's a beautiful mystery of time. Covelli. Covelli. It's called The Order of Time. Sorry, not Covelli, it's Rovelli. And the book is called The Order of Time. The Order of Time by Carlo Rovelli. Wonderful book. Check it out if you're into physics. Even the sequence of time of so-called past flowing into the present, flowing into the future, even that sequence is, we think it can only move in this one direction, but that also is not a fixed. It's just It's just our experience, our day-to-day normal experience, but time can travel in the other direction also. Time can go in the other direction, time can stop, time can move forward, accelerate, move fast, move slow, and so on and so on. Wonderful. Any questions on this whole mystery, this beauty? But what does it mean for day-to-day life? Okay, let's go to that. Okay, ये सब theory, physics है, ये है, वो है, ठीक है, अच्छा क्या उसको करने का क्या? उसको समझ के फायदा क्या है हमको? क्योंकि हम we are human beings, we want to learn something so that we can use it. So what we can learn from it? What we can learn from it is realizing that this importance that we give to past and future may be misplaced, that we are investing in ghosts, that we are investing in an illusion. When we invest our energy and time and our thoughts either in the past or the future, which is non-existent, by either worrying about the future or regretting the past, then we are wasting our time. And that all that has to be can be experienced in life only happens in the here and now. So becoming more and more connected with the here and now, when you are more and more connected with the here and now, is the only place where joy can be experienced, where love can be experienced, where truth can be experienced, where beauty can be experienced. We can never experience love in the past. We can never experience love in the future. We can only experience love in the now. And we are here on this planet only to experience love. So the whole purpose of this whole discussion about past, present, future is to bring you to the now, the power of now. There is no challenge in the now. There is nothing that you cannot handle in the now. In the now, there is no thing that is insurmountable. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely, there's nothing that is insurmountable. All you can do in the now is whatever is there, whatever is present, whatever is there. Just deal with whatever is present. And the ability to deal with whatever is present in the now, you are completely and fully equipped, fully capable, and fully able to do whatever is needed in the now. Whatever is needed in the now, you are completely empowered to manage, to do whatever is needed in the now. Helplessness, desperation, depression, sorrow, regret, grief, all these come into play only when the past and the future comes crashing on you. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's say somebody says, okay, you're making dinner today. So simple example, you're making dinner for two of you. And somebody says, oh, yeah, there are these guests who are coming from out of town. About five or let's say 7 people are going to arrive. So what do you do with that? Now, this is a problem only if you are concerned about future. If you realize that future doesn't exist. Right now, all I have is what I can do right now. And all I can do is whatever I can do right now. There is nothing called 7 people arriving for dinner. It exists only in a future, which is an imaginary future, and you don't need to dwell your time, your energy, your effort on that. What can you do now? Well, you can go start chopping vegetables right now. Start chopping vegetables. That's all you can do. What else can you do? But if you start worrying, oh my God, 7 people, किधर से होएगा, कैसे होएगा? Oh, ये भी नहीं है, वो भी नहीं है. Then you're paralyzed. Then you're miserable. Then you're upset. Then you're angry. Oh, why didn't they tell us in advance? Why did they bringing this surprise? Useless conversations, useless debilitating, powerless conversations that only bring you misery and worry and tension and stress. In the now, there is no such thing. Chop the vegetables. If you don't have them, go buy them. And if you can't do that, plan to order Swiggy. Get your app ready. अरे 7 लोगों क्या 10 लोगों को खिला देंगे, कौन सी बड़ी बात है? That becomes possible when you are not engaged with the future. That becomes possible when you're not worrying about the past. हाँ वो 10 साल पहले भी ऐसा ही किया था उन्होंने, ये ऐसे ही है ये लोग, whatever, all those things useless, pointless. So coming to the now, bringing yourself to the now, bringing yourself continuously back into the now is a very, very powerful way to live. And that is why we are talking physics and quantum physics and whatnot. Exactly. When you're in the now, Purushottamji says, everything is okay. In the now, everything is always okay because it is just the way it is. It's just what it is. No matter where you are, it's just the way it is. If you find yourself in the worst possible situation that you can imagine, let's say you're in the hospital and you think you're dying. I mean, what else could be more serious than that? Even that is not a problem if you are present in the now, in the now, in the now. Here I am in the hospital, dying. Okay, that's all it is. It's only when you project into the future, oh, if I die, what will happen? What will happen to my family? What will happen to my child? What will happen to my husband? What will happen to my bank balance? Or why didn't I live better? Why didn't I do this? I should have done that. I should have done that. Now I'm dying. I'm sitting on the hospital bed. I'm dying. Now what? I should have done that. I should have. All that again, investing in past. So I'm giving you like the worst possible scenario that I could come up with. You are in that situation. And 99.999% of your life, you are nowhere near that kind of a situation. Right? You're in your room, in your house, in your work, and you're perfectly healthy. So given that you can be okay even in that worst case scenario, then what is there not to be okay in this so-called life where we are on a Zoom call enjoying a conversation? So live it, love it, be it, feel it, enjoy it. And that is possible only in the now. So being in the now, be in the now. Wonderful. Any final thoughts or comments or questions before we close? Yes, Anamika. Oh, I have to unmute you, is it? Okay. Yeah.
So, Sanjivji, I would like to share my experience by constantly being in the now. The thing is, like, there are times when I get up with a lot of work in my hand, and the moment I get up in the morning, I have these thought, oh this, oh that, oh this, all these things. But the moment I tell that this is now, that's it, bam, everything is okay.
Everything is okay. Exactly.
And it's so powerful because when I'm playing, I don't play to win or lose. I play
Correct.
for the now.
For the now.
So it is very magical. And I always tell my husband that I don't know why people don't incorporate these things,
These
because
things.
this will increase their productivity to many folds.
Exactly.
And life becomes so easy.
So easy.
Yeah. So it's
Everything
magic.
everything is okay. Everything is easy in the now. All the trouble is only in the past and future.
Yes. So it's liberating. It's amazing.
It's liberating. Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. So keep on doing that. Keep on bringing that now into the now. Great. Janki ji, any thoughts or questions? Okay, wait. Let me unmute. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So, like being in the now is okay for individual person, family matters, okay. But when you work for some, say for example, ISRO, we can't be in the now. We have to plan for the future because just like that, you can't launch a satellite, right?
Of course.
So we have a profile for 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, which is
Correct.
future.
Correct.
How do you explain that matter?
Correct.
We can't live in the now at that time. For individuals, okay, fine. House matters, let us not think about the past, let us not think about the future. But
No, no,
when you're working,
even for ISRO, or even for anything, for NASA, the biggest organizations. So let me ask you this. At ISRO, when you are planning for a satellite launch in, let's say, the year 2027, when does that planning happen?
it actually happens in the past before the launch,
No, no,
and the
but
launch
when it
happens in
is
the future.
happening, when you're, let's say you're sitting in a conference room planning a 2027 satellite, and you're sitting in, today, 2022, you're sitting in a conference room planning a 2027 launch. When is that planning happening?
It's happening actually in the past before it takes
It's
off.
not
It happens now.
exactly. It happens only in the now. The planning happens in the now. The planning cannot happen in the future. And the planning cannot happen in the past. It can happen only now. Whenever it is happening, whenever it happens, whether it happens in 2021 or 22 or 23 or whatever, whenever it happens, at that time it is only happening in the now. So there is only now, and we can plan for the future in the now. But so all that exists as a experience or as a reality is only in the now. We are planning right now. Let's say we are sitting in the ISRO conference room and saying, okay, 2027 we are going to launch this satellite. What is this satellite going to look like? What is the characteristics? What are the properties? What is the payload? What is the size? What is the launch site? So many things we will talk about. When is all that discussion happening? Whenever it is happening, it is only
It's not.
happening. Whenever it is happening, it is only happening in the now. So that's the point. The point is, so planning for the future is not excluded when you talk about living in the now. Even in your day to day household work, you can plan your groceries and I'm going to buy this tomorrow and whatever. But realize and understand that all that planning is happening in the now. It is not happening in the future. So the point is that at an experiential level of life, we only live in the now. We only live in the now. And same thing with the past. We may have a memory of the past. Oh, this happened. We sent something towards Mars and it didn't work out. Or the moon. I think ISRO sent something recently, right? What was it? Something Yatan. What was that?
Chandrayaan.
Indrayan.
Chandrayaan.
Chandrayaan, which, so we can remember it today and say that, okay, we sent this thing in the, whatever, 2 years ago or 1 year ago or whatever, and it didn't succeed. But that memory of that event is only happening now. You are experiencing that memory now. You are not visiting ever a past. You are not ever visiting a future. You are not ever experiencing a past or experiencing a future. You're only experiencing now.
Now.
That's the point. So, and the now and the now and the now, and we'll just live in the now and be in the now. And it can include planning, but it's happening in the now. It can include planning for a future
In the now.
in the now. In the now, exactly. The event and the experience only happen here and now. They can never happen somewhere else. They can never happen in a different time. So becoming aware of this continuous present, It's only a present, 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 only now, only now, only now. That is an empowering and freeing. Um, so say take this thing about Chandrayaan itself. You know, ISRO can sit around regretting whatever went wrong in that mission
Yeah.
and dwell on that. Live over there, live over there, spend your time, spend your energy. Oh, 2020 we messed up, 2020 we messed up. And that's a debilitating, restricting, and disempowering place to spend your time and energy on. I would rather spend the time and energy on the now, which says, okay, I have a memory of something that went wrong. What was it that went wrong? How do I fix it the next time I'm going to launch to a mission to the moon? And but that's all happening in the now. So knowing and learning from the past is also possible in the now. It doesn't exclude that. What we are saying is we cannot live there, we cannot go there, we cannot visit there, we cannot experience there. So living in the present moment, living in the present moment, only knowing that that is the only one reality, that's the only one truth, is the now. The rest is simply conjecture, imagination. Just like we imagine a future, we can worry about a past, but it happens in the now. So I gave you the example of the housewife or house husband uh, worrying about dinner, only just as, you know, just as a way to make it tangible, but it applies to everything. Largest organizations, it applies to countries, it applies to nations, it applies to the UN, it applies to the world. It is not limited to that. The world also happens only in the here and now. The entire world happens in the here and now. Great. And these mistaken attempts to correct history, right, is what causes a lot of trouble, because we think somehow we exist in the past. I mean, this crisis with Russia and Ukraine or all that stuff is an attempt to correct history, whereas all that exists is the now. And in that now, there is no need for war. It's only when we travel to the past or project to the future that the need for war arises. So let us pray for peace and the resolution of this conflict as soon as possible before many lives are unnecessarily lost. And with that prayer and with that sending out our love to that region of the world and wherever there is conflict, and wishing peace, love, happiness, and freedom from suffering for each one of us at an individual level, and for each one of us at a social, national, global, universal level. With that prayer, thank you, thank you, thank you.